This is the On to Mark Wrestling Podcast. Kick back and hang with your hosts, Kayode, Lewis, and Joel. Let's mark out.
Yes. Episode 85 on the Mark Wrestling Podcast. Yes, your boy is back. Full effect. Welcome to the show, y'all. Episode 85 on the Mark Wrestling Podcast. I'm your boy, Kayode, joined by none other than Joel, Streaming Joe.
Yo.
Our boy Lewis is on sabbatical. He ain't here today. But he sent us to do his dirty work, and we're here to run it. We're running in right now for him. We're saving him right now. Welcome to the show, y'all. Joel, what's going on, man? How you doing, man?
What's good, man? Episode 85, Ocho Cinco. We in
Ocho
the building.
Cinco. Yes. Ocho Cinco
in the building. Man,
building.
some good wrestling stuff. I'm excited to talk Graps. It's been a while since you've been on the show, too.
Yeah, man.
Let's get into it.
So listen, we got to get into Revolution. Revolution was this past Sunday. It was a including 0 hour, which I think is ridiculous, by the way. I think scrap 0 hour.
Yeah.
It's an hour and 30 minutes of nonsense of people I don't want to see, right? I mean, God, man, just give me 45 minutes. Do 2 matches, a couple of video promos or whatever, and call it a night. Yeah. An hour and 30 minutes.
It's a long time. If you're there in person, that's a long time, man.
Come on,
an hour and 30 pre-show plus the 4-hour main show. I mean, it was bangers all night.
Yes.
By the end of the night, you could tell the crowd was like, all right, I'm tuckered out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, speaking of bangers, let's give it up for them because they did their thing. It was very good. Revolution, action-packed. I mean, you expect nothing less from AEW when it comes to their pay-per-views, man. They deliver every single time. Even the pay-per-views that don't quite hit still hit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're
100%.
still not bad. And we got another one this past Sunday, man. 4 hours of just nonstop. Here's the one thing, Joe. Those pay-per-views got to move to like a Saturday afternoon or something.
Man.
The Sundays are rough, Tony. You're killing me, bro. I ain't 25 anymore. I just can't. I need a solid 7.5 hours, Joe. I need 7.5.
I feel you, bro. I feel you, man. I was struggling. I told you guys earlier in the week, man. I went a little MIA because I was avoiding spoilers. I literally didn't finish watching Revolution till Tuesday because it was such a long show. And your boy needs to sleep. I need my sleep, man. I can't play around no more. I'm in my 30s. Like I need my sleep, TK. Don't play around. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you run 7 different businesses and throw on 4-hour pay-per-views. You're a maniac, but thank you for it because that was an incredible show.
Incredible show, yes. But TK, man, we gotta do something about the timing of these pay-per-views, bro. But overall, solid show. I mean, I probably give it an A, B plus A, right? Like I think I'm at the B plus A range. The reason why I'm not giving it an A is because I think it was some matches were badly positioned on the card. Right. I could agree with that. I think and I agree with everybody. Toni Storm and Mariah May, the Hollywood, what was it? The last the
Hollywood ending.
Hollywood ending.
Yeah.
Should have been last. Should have been the main event. My God, man. Because that last scene, that last camera shot, the over the head shot of Toni and Mariah just on the ground, on the table, just embracing each other in this this is it.
Yeah.
Would have been
honestly,
the perfect fade to black, Joe. Perfect.
Yeah, I love that you chose this match to start with because this was probably my favorite match of the night. Not the best match of the night for me, but my favorite match just because all the emotions put into it. The angle leading up to this, one of the best stories AEW has ever told, in my opinion. One of the best women's wrestling stories ever told, in my opinion. Yeah. And man, like Toni Storm and Mariah May, they are on another level. They are so good at everything that has to do with wrestling. They're great in the ring, incredible at promos. The character aspect, they know their characters so well. The little things, all the callbacks that they had to previous moments, it was beautiful. Like, it was literally an Hollywood ending. Like, it was perfect storytelling. And tonight on Dynamite, they did the promo package, and man, I got chills again watching that. Even though I watched all of it live while it was happening, it gave me chills. I was like, yo, this is an incredible story. That promo package they aired tonight, it honestly gave me like Austin Rock promo package. That awesome one, the one that we all go back and watch, the when they're staring at each other in the eyes and all that. Like, I'm like, yo, this is the female women's division version of that. Toni Storm, Mariah May. I hope they continue to fight forever because they deserve each other. They're literally, I don't even know how they found each other, but they're wrestling soulmates, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful match to watch, man.
Now here's the big test, not necessarily for Toni, but more so for Mariah.
Yeah.
What can Mariah do after this that's going to be probably not as good, but entertaining?
Yeah.
Who do you book her to face that's going to bring out something similar? Or something that's entertaining, something that's going to be meaningful. She needs somebody, and honestly, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head right now.
I think if I was TK and Mariah May, I would take a break. You know, we had this incredible story. It's going to be really hard to follow up with this. So let's take a break. Let the fans miss you a little bit. Come back as a baby face maybe, and we'll see where that goes. Because right now, this is Toni Storm's division. And no one is holding a candle to her. Let her rock. We saw tonight, seems like they're going with Megan Bayne as her next opponent, which is
not mad at
pretty good, you know, with all the complaints about how AEW doesn't push their new stars. That's a pretty big push. And she had 2 segments on tonight's show, Megan Bayne. Yeah. She attacked Toni Storm, then she ended up attacking Chris Statlander and Willow. So she's becoming like mini Brock Lesnar out here for the AEW
doing F5s. You know, she's doing F5. You know,
it honestly is reminding me of the original Brock Lesnar debut when he came out as the next big thing, and he was just like randomly attacking like Jeff Hardy one week. Then it was like Spike Dudley. Like, they were just putting him against like the smallest guys to make it seem like this guy is a freaking monster. And it worked. It worked incredibly well. He became a star within a month, basically. So if they're going that route, man, hey, the best artist steal. So it might be a good wave, yo. Put her in the Brock Lesnar trajectory, and you got a star going forward.
I'm not mad at that, man. I'm digging Megan. Megan's got all the intangibles. I mean, she's decent to look at. She's got the in-ring stuff.
Of course.
I mean, she seems like she's a perfect first opponent after this major story with Toni. Not mad at it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm just very curious. Like I mentioned before, I'm just very curious. Like they'll probably, you know, Mariah will chill for a minute, a couple of weeks, probably stay off TV or whatnot. But I'm very curious to see who
because you want to keep her hot.
Yeah, but you know, the problem with AEW is that we don't have enough women's matches, enough women's anything to like, you know, your top women are the ones you kind of see. Mercedes, Toni. Mercedes and Toni. Like, those are the women you see on a consistent basis, right? And both of them are they're booked. They're doing other stuff. I just wonder how you pivot from Mariah being so high up to now being, I don't know where you put her. I don't know where you slot her. Yeah. Who do you slot her with? I'm very curious to see what happens with that. So that was one. That was one of many good matches out of the nine match card, right? I think one of my favorites, and I don't want to go through the whole card, but one of my favorites, other than that match, was the steel cage match, Ospreay and your boy Kyle Fletcher, who I think is extremely underrated. Kyle Fletcher. Give it up for Kyle Fletcher, man. I got to give it up for Kyle Fletcher because Kyle Fletcher is doing his thing. I think he's one good booking away from being like a major top guy. Where that is and who that is, I don't know. But I think at this point you need to strap the rocket to his back, and he needs to get a title over his shoulder. Yeah. Get the TBS, start him out that way. I don't know, but your boy needs a title quick, and he needs to stay consistent and stay hot. Kyle Fletcher is the future. Homeboy can go in that ring. He made everything Ospreay do look amazing, 10 times amazing. And Ospreay doesn't even need help to do that.
Yeah, but
Kyle made it even special. Yeah. Everything Kyle does looks effortless. And the match was just fantastic. Blood, craziness, Spanish fly off the top of a damn cage.
They just started stabbing each other with a screwdriver, bro. Like straight up just stabbing each other.
The match, and here's where the bad placement came in, Joe, is that it was the match before the main event that really didn't have much heat. Mm-hmm. And I love Cope. He's a legend. Mm-hmm. He's not even in my top 20, but I respect him. Yeah. I respect him. He's not in my top 20, though. I don't put Cope.
I don't think so either.
He's not in my top 20. But I just feel like he has no business chasing a world title. No business. I don't want to see him in a world title picture. He doesn't do it for me in the ring anymore. He looks old. He's doing nothing for me. And then the Mox thing and all that stuff, it's stale. It just was a bad placement because the crowd was dead. They were like, "What's happening?" Yeah. Oh, they were done. They were hungover.
I do want to give props to Mox and Cope because they put on a pretty good match. It was just compared to what we saw on the card before, is like especially right before that cage match, like that was literally the crescendo, and then we came back down, and it was like it was a little off. And I think they could have easily solved it just by calling the Ospreay Fletcher match an unsanctioned cage match and just put it on last, and you could still call the title match your main event technically, because that should have been the way to end the show. You end the show with Will Ospreay getting a big win, let the crowd go home happy. I do understand that they wanted the moment for Swerve though, which that was pretty cool as well. Swerve Ricochet put on a pretty good banger of a match. And then at the end, we see the direction Swerve is going after Mox going forward, and we're getting that match at AEW Dynasty. So that should be a fun one. Hopefully, we'll see Swerve become 2-time champ.
Yeah, and I think this is where they Mox will drop the title. It's time. Swerve. I think Swerve gets that title right back. I can't see Mox beating him on the 1-year anniversary of him being the first black champion in AEW.
Sorry, bro. I think he's gonna beat him.
You think he's gonna beat him?
Yeah, man. So I don't know
why. Okay, why?
So tonight's episode of Dynamite was a very by the numbers book, but they were definitely setting up a lot of different little things. Mm-hmm. So just in like the last couple segments alone, they set up Will Ospreay saying that he's going to All In to challenge for the world title. He said he's gonna win the Owen Hart tournament and get into that main event. So to me, it seems like we're gonna get Will Ospreay versus Moxley at All In, just because that seems like the bigger match. I know Ospreay versus Swerve is an incredible match as well, but we did that already. We did Ospreay versus Swerve Forbidden Door last year already. We already had babyface versus babyface. I don't see them doing that again so soon. So I think we're going to get Ospreay Mox, and I think Ospreay is going to be the one to dethrone the king and open up that briefcase. He is their big baby face. Give him the rocket. Give him the world title. That's an amazing moment. In front of your biggest crowd in the U.S. ever. You crown your new champion. You tell the world this is our guy, and you leave the fans going happy. He opens up that briefcase. The crowd goes crazy when he opens that briefcase. Ospreay. I already see it. I'm sold.
You probably, Joe, you probably convinced me just now. I was seeing everything you were saying, and Swerve is so over and so big time that maybe it's not a clean finish.
Yeah.
Maybe to kind of preserve another loss on, like, even though he didn't lose this past match, but he lost a bunch before that. It's just kind of, I don't know, the optics. I could see that. So Mox goes up until July,
which is going to be rough.
That's
just going to be rough.
But you're right. But it makes the Ospreay title win at All In that much bigger to beat a untouchable champion.
Yeah, and they've been keeping them separate for a long time. And before Kenny Omega returned, that was Ospreay's direction. He even gave a promo. He's like, as soon as I'm done with this Don Callis family stuff, Mox, I'm coming for you. I remember him saying that. And then seems like the Don Callis family stuff is over now. So if that's the direction we're going in, I'm all for it, because I think Ospreay should be your babyface.
100%.
Like, you don't have we've talked about this before on the show, but they don't have someone that the casual fan wants to go and cheer for. I know Darby Allin is incredible. Orange Cassidy is incredible, but these are not like household names. It sucks to hear, but it's the truth. And Will Ospreay, maybe he's not a household name yet, but he is the closest to being there, in my opinion. If you're a wrestling fan in 2025, you know who Will Ospreay is, even if you've never watched AEW, New Japan, anything. Just because you've heard this name, you've seen the viral clips of him and Ricochet doing their flips, and everybody went crazy. But now that is the style that we all love to watch. So I think this is your guy, man. Like, he's proven time and time again that he wants the ball. He wants to run with it. Give it to him, man. Let Ospreay run with this and see where it takes you. I think so. You can have Ospreay as your world champion going into the rest of the year, remainder of the year. That opens up so many possibilities for matches we haven't seen on such a big stage before. Like, yeah, we've seen Ospreay versus Omega before, but have we ever seen them for a world title in the US like stadium? No, that could sell out a ton of places. You put Omega versus Ospreay on the card for the AEW world title, you could sell out plenty of buildings with just that match alone. So you got matches like that you could set up. You could set up Ospreay Okada, Ospreay Swerve Part 2, and just keep going. Like, this guy has proven that he could put on a banger with basically a broomstick. So put him out there, make him your world champion, and that's it. Like, I think that's the key to AEW success right there.
Man, I can't argue with that. I could see it. You're right. And it's time to put, they've done a long journey of Ospreay not going near that title, the heavyweight title.
Exactly.
It's time. Put it on a mega baby face. Have him be the Cody of your business, and have him just ride out and have dream matches that we've all wanted to see here in the States and do his thing. I'm not mad at it.
It's so funny you mentioned Cody, because I think, and it's a little messy, but I think TK is trying to replicate the WrestleMania 40 ending in a way. And I think we're going to see something like that at All In, where we see a bunch of people that we haven't seen in a while come out and help Ospreay get that title. I think that's what's going to happen.
So you're saying Tony possibly will replicate WrestleMania 40, where there
very
was
similar.
A bunch of people coming out.
Because think about it. So the story they've been telling is Mox is surrounded by a bunch of people that won't let you get to him, basically. Cope found a way around this by taking him out one by one. Still didn't work, because Yuta still came and, did his thing. But let's say Ospreay goes into the match. He doesn't really have many friends besides Kenny Omega, it seems like. He goes into that match, but he has a history with a bunch of people. Right. So you never know. Maybe we see a Danielson show up.
Oh, wow.
It's been a full year. All In will be a full year since Moxley choked them out, I believe. Oh, no, that was the month after. But it's been a full year since he won the title, actually, at All In last year. So we see Danielson come back. Maybe we see Sting drop from the rafters with Darby. And if it works, it works. And you pull off the WrestleMania 40 ending, but for Will Ospreay, and you crown your champion. And hey, it's a babyface spot. You get the rub from all of your AEW legends, quote unquote, and you keep it going. And they're giving him the rub. This is our guy going forward.
I'm not mad at that.
And if this is not TK, give me a freaking job, bro.
Yeah, man.
I just booked the whole territory for you.
You just booked the whole main event. I mean, that's I don't hate that. I kind of like it.
I booked the territory for him.
I do not hate that. That's a good. Listen, we'll see, man. We'll see, but we'll see where this goes. But Ospreay
could be completely wrong. I'm just talking shit.
I know. Listen, that's what we do here on the Mark Wrestling. This is what we do. We
Love
fantasy book. There's nothing wrong with that. But listen, I think that's a possibility. Man. But where do you, I'm just thinking down the line. How do you slot Swerve in there? Like,
I mean, Swerve is gonna be okay. Like, because that's the thing. Swerve, he could always kind of hang his hat on the fact that he's the first ever Black AEW World Champion.
Right.
So no matter what, he can't really get dropped down the card much, right? Like, he is one of your biggest stars. He could take a bunch of losses and get heated up within a week, and we'll be like, hell yeah, I'm ready for a Swerve world title win again. So True. I think he'll be fine, and we'll see a Swerve Ospreay. Maybe Swerve goes heel. Like there's plenty of things they could do. So yeah, I'm not worried about Swerve at all.
Okay. Now, Joe, is there any other matches a match that you wanted to talk about from Revolution that was like, before we move on, anything else you wanted to?
Nah, I mean, I think those, like the Toni Storm and the Ospreay matches, were definitely the two highlights of the night. Kenny Takeshita was solid. You could tell they were holding back a little bit for a eventual rematch, I'm sure, but it was good. It was a good match. Ricochet Swerve, like we mentioned, was good as well. And yeah, every match was pretty solid. The only match that I was like, this didn't need to be on the card was probably her Syndicate and Outrunners. But even that match did its purpose. Like, it's like, yeah, it was a quick, like, 5-minute squash. And
yes, and
her Syndicate is so cool that I'm like, hell yeah, put them on TV as much as you can.
They're dope as hell. And I can't lie. I like the Outrunners. I like the 80s.
I like them too.
Like the pose, and I love it. I don't know.
I love their presentation and how
I love the presentation.
The screen turns into like a smaller aspect ratio.
Yes, the aspect ratio is smaller. Yeah, it's cool. But they're kind of the, I don't want to call them the J word, but the jobber. Like, I don't want to call them that, but they're the lovable jobbers. Yeah. They're the lovable job, right? You know what I'm saying? And they're not probably TV ready in the sense of, being able to, they had a match a couple of weeks ago that was like just with the Machine, with Brian Cage and Lance Archer. Yeah. And it was just a debacle of just like botchery. You know what it is? They're messed up spots. Like,
they're a great indie gimmick.
That's what it is. Yeah.
You go to an indie show and you see these two old dudes pretending to be young guys, and you're like, oh, this is hilarious. It doesn't translate as well for TV, but the people who get it, and that's all that matters.
And I respect it. I'm like, yo, I'm here for it. 100%. But listen, y'all, that was your Revolution. We wanted to get into a little Revolution for you, AEW Revolution. If you have not seen it, definitely get on recommend. It. AEW needs to do something about these pay-per-views. They need to be on Max. What's the point
now they're
of
on
your
Prime.
Content being on Max if you're not going to give us pay-per-views?
That was interesting. They're like that. They announced that it was on Amazon Prime out of
now.
Nowhere.
They're on Prime.
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, how does that work with Max and Prime?
I don't know.
Isn't there streamer beef and all that?
Exactly.
I don't know how any of this works.
So instead of paying $60 on YouTube, I could pay $60 on Prime. Basically, that's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me, Tony. Right? So I listen. I hate it. Put your pay-per-views on Max and give it to the people who subscribe to Max, and make it very simple, guys. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Yeah. But I wanted to get into my special segment. I wanted to get into a little bit of showing love. Now, this is the segment where I show some love to a specific person. It could be a wrestler. It could be anything, right? But this is where I give some props and respect on the name of whoever I'm talking about. And this week, I'm showing some love to none other than Ava. Don't be shocked. Give it a favor. I'm showing some love to Ava. All right, Ava from NXT. She's the manager doing a thing, and I gotta tell you, man, I think Ava has found her lane.
Yeah.
And not only is she now manager, she's manager of NXT, but Shawn Michaels has made her the manager of Evolve. She's now the manager of the Tubi show Evolve, which I gotta check out, by the way. I got Tubi, never even touched it in my entire life. I don't know what it is.
Wrestling, man. I want to watch everything, and I can't. It's so much, bro.
It's too much. But Ava has been doing her thing, and yeah, I think, Joe, she's found her lane. Now, Ava's not a great wrestler right now. Who knows? She could get better. I'm not gonna stifle her dream, right? She's the daughter of The Rock. If those who don't know her, she is the daughter of The Rock. She's in NXT. She's the manager. And I gotta tell you, on camera, when she's talking and explaining match rules and talking and deals and all that stuff, she doesn't fumble. She makes sense, and she seems very comfortable. I gotta give it to her. I didn't know how this was gonna work. I thought this was the graveyard for her career. I thought WWE said, "Listen, we're gonna give her this, and if she drops the ball before she gets to the end zone, she's getting released. Like, she's done. She's done." But now Big Bad Dwayne is a board member. She may never get fired. So whatever she does may not even count. Like, it doesn't even matter. What do you want to do? What do you want to do, Ava? Whatever you want to do, let us know. But I gotta give Ava some love, man. I gotta give it some love, man.
I gotta agree with you there, man. I was, when Ava first debuted as like the general manager of NXT, it was rough.
Yes.
You could tell that her acting chops weren't great. All that. I was kind of like, I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but thankfully they stuck with it, and she's been killing it, man. And you know what's really highlighting her like acting ability now is Ricky Saints, man. Ricky Saints the past couple weeks has been having like little segments with her here and there.
Yeah.
And it's been great. Like, just a little like here and there quick little quips, but it seems natural. It seems like something that you would actually see in real life with like an employee and a boss, where he's like, "Is everyone crazy out here?" or whatever. Like, he keeps mentioning that. He's like, "Why is everybody so mad over here?" Like, he keeps saying that every time he bumps into her. And I'm like, yo, this is like very small, subtle stuff, but you could tell that she's getting so comfortable with her character, who she's supposed to be. Like you said, explaining the rules to matches. She never has like hiccups anymore. When she first started, she would have like little hiccups here and there, but now she is comfortable. And honestly, it just goes to show like the Performance Center, NXT, now you have Evolve. Like, this machine that WWE has built could literally make anyone into a star. And it's incredible to watch, honestly. And now you have like this feeder system of the WWE ID, indie wrestlers going into Evolve, going into NXT, going into the main roster. Like, they set themselves up for the future. And man, we're going to see, like you said, like, she's The Rock's daughter. She could literally coast if she wanted to.
Yeah, man.
So props to her for actually putting in the work to get better at the acting, get better at understanding her character, who she is. And honestly, being I think out of the three general managers, she's probably the one that has the most like authority when you really think about it. Nobody really messes with her like that compared to how they be messing with Adam Pearce. Poor Adam Pearce had to start drinking on the job. That's how bad it was, bro. Like,
I love Pearce, bro. Yo, he's so
honestly
good.
This generation of general managers is pretty mage, man. We got all three of them are incredible at their jobs, and I was never the biggest fan of the whole general manager gimmick. And like, the last time that I really like remember loving it was when Mick Foley was commissioned.
I knew you,
like, that was the best. And then they kind of tried to like remake it with a couple people, and it never really worked. And this is awesome, man. Like, we have Ava killing it in NXT, Nick Aldis killing it on SmackDown. Nick Aldis, nobody really messes with him either because he's just a giant.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually made this comment to my buddy the other day. He looks like Bruce Wayne in the animated series.
Oh,
whenever he was wearing a suit, it's just like super big compared to everybody else in Gotham, and nobody questions. It's like, are you Batman, bro?
No one questions him. He's the biggest dude in the yo, man. Yo, you look really familiar, man.
Your shoulders are kind of broad, bro.
Your shoulders are mad broad, man. Turn to the side for me. Let me see something. Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to the day Nick Aldis is just like, you know what? And he rips off that suit and just starts putting the beats on somebody because you know that's going to come one day. But yeah, man, going back to Ava, incredible. That's a great showing some love segment right there. She definitely deserves it, man. And NXT, killing it, man. We want to talk about NXT real quick.
We got to get into
Roadblock was incredible.
Roadblock was at Madison Square Garden. The theater of Garden sold out. They set that place up real nice.
Yeah.
And my God, man,
crowd was hot all night.
The Oba Femi and Moose Matt. I'm sorry. Let's just get that's showing some love. That Oba Femi and Moose match, was fantastic to see two big guys like that. Moose, I never really watched Moose. Now I'm Moose. Now I'm doing it.
Yeah,
and your boy
Moose is incredible.
Did a drop kick that was chef's kiss. It was outrageous. Oba Femi, Mashiach. Oh my God, Julia and Stephanie Vaquer tore it down.
Shout out to Steph, man, double champ.
NXT is just on fire.
Yeah,
on fire. What you have any thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, the Hardys starting it off the show, that was awesome to watch.
The Hardys,
man. Yeah, like Hardys versus Fraxium, great match, fast pace. Hardys get the win. I thought it was good, and it was interesting going into it because I'm like, how are they gonna book this with like so many like TNA versus NXT? I thought all the titles were on the line for all the matches, so I was wrong there. If I would have known, then I would have been like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. But it was good. Like the Hardys got the win, so you give TNA a victory there because of this partnership. But then Oba Femi gets the win against Moose, so it's like, all right, we're all even here. Nobody takes a loss really as a company. And the partnership seems to be working well, man. Like, especially for the men's division, which was struggling on the NXT side for a while. Like having Moose come over and give Oba Femi this type of match, big meaty match, like they crushed it, man. And going forward, man, I would love to just see what they do with Oba because like, who's gonna beat this guy?
Exactly.
This guy, he has it. He has everything. Like, this person, he's gonna be a star for years to come. So I could see him being undefeated, like, and maybe vacating the title or something. Because like, who really could beat this guy on that and in the NXT division? Maybe Ricky Saints if they get there, but I don't know, man.
Maybe Ricky Saints. That's a good point. I didn't even think about Ricky. Ricky could be in there. Ricky could be in there. He's laying low right now, and I think he's gonna shoot his shot.
We do have Mania weekend in NOLA next year. Ricky Saints might be getting his stand and deliver main event next year.
But he's talking. He wants to be WrestleMania main event. That's his goal. Now I don't know if your boy.
I don't know about that.
Pump the brakes, homeboy. You just got here. You got. We got relaxed, man.
You got any Samoan in your blood?
Yeah, you part. I know why. Let me know. All right, and we'll get you right to the top.
Oh man!
But if you ain't, then you need to chill out. We'll get you there. Just chill. But yeah, man, NXT did their thing. Yeah. If you have not watched the Oba Femi Moose match, watch it. Jordan Grace and Roxanne did some great work. That was
an incredible match too.
Did some great work. Man, it was just solid show. I gotta give it up to Ethan Page and what's his name? Something Evans?
Javon Evans.
Javon Evans.
Yeah.
Javon Evans did a spot where homeboy jumped over the top rope onto the announce table.
Yeah.
It looked nasty and great at the same time.
That,
I was like, but yes, it looked great.
And the spot with Ethan Page's head in the chair and hit him with the cutter, I was like, yo, the margin for error there is like so thin, and they pulled it off perfectly. Yeah. I was like, all right, props. Like,
I didn't give props, bro. It was,
great show.
It was
great show
good.
for their MSG debut, I believe, for NXT.
For NXT, yeah,
that's incredible,
was that was the first one.
Awesome.
Now I wanted to get into something real quick before we get into some Cena Raw stuff. Man, I'm, and this is just quick. I got to make it. The Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton match is not. It is.
Is this the Hater Club segment?
This is the Hater Club segment. Actually, this might be the Hater Club segment.
Let's give it to her. Give it to her.
I gotta give it. I'm not even giving it. Am I going to give it to an individual?
Just the whole storyline.
I'm going to give it to the whole storyline. Yeah, guys. I gotta give it. This storyline is not hitting great. I think we've got some major issues here, Joe.
Yeah, man.
I don't think Tiffany's ready for that big spotlight. She's not convincing me of her being a credible opponent to this badass legend of Charlotte. The chemistry and everything that they're doing is just not entertaining. It's not good. It's not. I don't know what they're doing. I think they got so much time on their hands in terms of between now and Mania that I don't know if they even know what else they could do because it's lukewarm. Now I'm going to give WWE the benefit of the doubt and say they're going to rev stuff up within the last 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, I think so too.
But right now, it ain't hitting.
Yeah.
It's not doing it.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It's unfortunate because I feel like Charlotte has kind of been phoning it in a little bit. But at the same time, there's just no real heat between them because they never really interacted before Charlotte won the Royal Rumble. You know, like it's like I don't know, like it seems forced. Like the match seems forced. Like they tried to fit Charlotte into a big spot, and I don't know if it was really the right move. Cause like, but then if you think about it, I don't know who else would really be facing Tiffany. So,
true.
But it's just like, I don't know. Like they tried to rush into this like feud, I think because it was like the similarities between Charlotte and Tiffy.
Yeah.
But you could have held off on this, and like it would have been a bigger match down the road. I feel like. I mean, like you said, we have plenty of time to heat it up, but it's just right now it feels like there's no real heat, and like even what like Charlotte has been like attacking her. Like attacking her legs or whatever after matches, and I'm like, I don't care.
Like it's just whack.
I need more. We need more.
I need more, and I'm going to keep it on this haters club right now because I'm going to give a little hate to the fact that we haven't. Well, we'll see him next week in Brussels. But I'm going to give a little hate to the fact that John Cena, the baby face of all faces, turns heel. And we haven't seen him or heard from him. And we've gotten one decent promo from Cody. The other on Monday, mediocre, just kind of filled time. It wasn't that great. And now we're going to get him. And I need Cena on Monday to look different, sound different, deliver different. I need to feel that he is locked in to this heat, to this heel moment. If he's gone in like 10 months or whatever it is, then I need to be on this ride with him, and I need to be like, yo, that was fantastic. So I'm going to give him a little hate because I'm like, okay, John, I was expecting something, maybe a little social media. He did something, but not enough. And I'm like, yo, you just turned heel. I need you to go crazy.
Yeah.
And I know he's got like carte blanche on whatever he wants to do. I need him to go heel.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna give him a little hate.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, I mean, you know what it is, man, and it's unfortunate. It's the build between the time frame between Rumble and a Chamber all the way to Mania is so long this year for some reason.
Dude. Yeah.
And I think that's really hindering a lot of the programs, because even Jey Uso and Gunther has kind of been the same thing.
Yeah.
It started off hot.
Yeah.
And now it's been the same thing every week. And it's so funny because Jey Uso last week, after Raw gave the social media promo, he said, "You awoken the beast now. You put me to sleep, but you awoken the beast." And then this week he got put to sleep again. I'm like, bro, where was the beast? What happened, bro? Now that I'm a Jey Uso fan, you want to embarrass me like this, bro? I believed in you. I believed in you, brother.
Man. Yeah,
you still yeeting out here. I need you to step it up, bro. But we know this is gonna happen. The closer we get to Mania, it's just we're so far out. They don't want to blow everything that they got, because then they're gonna be all right. We did the big angle, and Mania's still 40 days away. So it's a little unfortunate, but I think we're gonna get there. And I believe in current WWE head honchos to get us where we need to be.
Yeah,
they've been crushing it, and we saw on Raw this past week, this past Monday, I should say. Looks like we're getting a triple threat between Roman, Seth, and CM Punk.
Possibly.
Looks like we're also potentially getting a triple threat between Io, Bianca, and Rhea. So this is, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of multiple triple threats,
right?
And multiple multi-man, but these two have potential to be some all-time matches right there. We see Bianca, Io, Rhea. That could be an all-time match right there.
But here's the problem, Joe, is that they kept Rhea and Bianca away from each other for a long time.
Yeah.
I almost rather just see them go at it, right? That match could be epic.
Yeah.
You throw Io in it, who doesn't need to be in it, who didn't need to win the title. I hate the fact that Rhea's this crybaby about Bianca clapping for Rhea. I mean, clapping for Io. Yeah. That's what we're doing to Rhea. Yeah. The badass, super over, mega cool. Now she comes out and is complaining. You were clapping for her. Come on, bro. Like that's a bad move. If you're gonna do that,
I'm gonna have to push back on you a little bit here, Kayode.
Okay, let me hear you.
So, if I think the story they're trying to tell is Rhea doesn't trust anybody anymore. She had a terrible year, Dirty Dom. Her boyfriend, love of her life in kayfabe.
Yeah.
Cheated on her with Liv Morgan, cost her the title. Her faction completely left her behind. True. Her, what's the name? What was their short? Terror Twins.
The Terror
partner.
Twins.
He's on SmackDown now. She literally has no one anymore. So her facing Io Sky, Bianca Belair is there, someone that she considered a peer for so long, and now she sees her clapping for her opponent that she's never been able to beat before. So that's already in Rhea's head. And now you're like, why are you cheering for her? I thought you were my friend. I thought you were my peer. And her trust issues got into her head. She dropped the ball. Io got the win, which is a good story. I don't know where they're going to land, but right now I think I'm going to let it play out. I don't know where they land.
See, the way you just explained it, I can see that and I like it. But the way Rhea's delivering it is not the way
we might have to have a real conversation, though. I don't know if wrestling fans are ready to have that conversation. Rhea Ripley's acting is not that good.
Trash.
And her promo delivery sometimes is very sketch. You can tell she's remembering the words that she was given.
That's just real talk. Y'all can, and I know if I post this, we're gonna be like, y'all don't know wrestling. Y'all need to relax.
How can you say that about mommy?
Y'all need to relax. But it is true. All right.
She's incredible, generational talent. But
hands down,
her acting isn't the best, and it's okay. She'll get better with time. But so maybe she can't.
The
the delivery's not there.
Yes, the delivery of what she's doing is coming off as petulant child kind of thing. The way you just explained it is someone who's on the edge because she has nobody to turn to anymore.
It's the classic, like the Stone Cold story. Don't trust nobody. Don't trust anybody. Where he got to the point where he became the heel because he couldn't trust anybody.
Exactly.
So he had to sell his soul. I don't know if we see Rhea maybe turn heel before Mania. Seems like she's seeming a little heelish.
But see, here's the thing. I'd rather see Bianca go heel. Can they both go heel?
I mean, they both mushed the shit out of Io for no reason.
That's true.
Poor
True.
Io.
And that's true. And I gotta. And speaking
that
of
segment
Bianca,
was fire though.
That was a good segment. Io overacted in this. If we're going to talk about Io overdid it with the stomping out. I love Io.
I'm an Io apologist. She could do no wrong.
I love me some Io, right? Io kind of just overdid it just a little bit.
I could,
I would when she got to back, I'm like, listen, just do exactly that, but give me half. Like, don't go all the way, right? Don't stomp off all that stuff. I didn't care about that. But what I did love though is that we are getting the Bianca that I've asked for on past shows. So,
great segue.
Bianca Belair.
Is
coming out on some grown woman-ish. She's not really twirling. She's not skipping down the aisle. She's on some business. It's grown. It's sexy. It's on another level of like intensity. She means business.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling it. Thank you, Bianca, because I'm going to give you another showing some love. I got to give it to Bianca. And then what I'm giving some love to is what led us to this Bianca, which was the promo of all promos from these two beautiful, talented sisters. We got it finally. My God. I was watching that promo and I don't even think I blinked. I was just like, this is pure emotion. You said it before we got on the show.
Yeah.
You felt like it was a talk, an argument, a fight that we should have never listened to. Like we were there and we just eavesdropping.
Yeah.
It was the best promo work of both of their careers. Period. I loved it. It was amazing. I am curious on where this goes. I don't know if we're going to see if Bianca had any. Well, I'm sure. Well, at this point, Bianca probably didn't have anything to do with the attack. I think this is all on Naomi, and I love this for Naomi because Naomi needs something with some meat to it. And bro, we got it. And man, it was beautiful. Beautiful. Joe, what did you think?
I 100% agree with you, man. It's so funny because I watched SmackDown the day after it aired. And like for some reason, I don't know if I skipped the promo because I was jumping through, but or I just didn't really pay attention while I was watching it. So today I watched it over and I was like, "Holy shit, this is incredible!" And like you said earlier before we started recording, the feeling I got, it was like this is an argument between two friends that I don't even want to see right now.
Yeah,
like this is like one of those things where you're like, "Oh, this is like." Dirty laundry, keep that in the house type shit. Don't let others see this. And that's how it felt, man. But it was so good. And at a certain point, there was both of them were talking over each other, which is something that is almost taboo in wrestling, right? You give your opponent a chance to talk, then I talk, back and forth, very formulaic. But I think that added so much to the segment because it was just chaos. Like, I don't no, just tell me the truth. It's a yes or no question. Like they were just going back and forth. And I was like, yo, this is not even acting anymore. Like they hit another level of like, pretend you just found out I cheated on you or some shit. Like that's what it was. And they just went for it. And it was beautiful segment. Shout out to Naomi. She crushed it. Even when Bianca walked away, and she dropped the bitch on her. I was like, oh, that bitch hurt. Like, because WWE, they love dropping the bitch whenever there's a women's feud. It's like the big ooh, pop the crowd. But that one was like a guttural, came from the soul type, and it was almost like you ungrateful. I did it for you. It was the Rikishi. She tuned into it. She was like, that's her father-in-law. She's like, I'm tuning into my father-in-law. I'm going full in. And I agree with you. I don't think at this moment, it seems like Bianca had no idea, which is a great little like storyline bit that they could come back to once Mania season's over and things are settled. I think we're going to see a Bianca Jade feud where it won't be because Bianca caused an attack or anything. It's going to be more like, how can you just replace me with my attacker? Even though Bianca could be like, I didn't know. So she still could be the baby face in this scenario. But I think that's where we're going to head. And that's going to be an incredible promo going forward. Jade, Bianca, Naomi. I love this angle.
I love it.
And the cool thing too is like so many people were, we're going to get Jade versus Bianca. We're going to get Jade versus Bianca. And it's like, nah, you know what? Let's get Jade versus Naomi, which incredible. Let's get Naomi. She should have a WrestleMania spotlight. She's been screwed out of WrestleMania so many times before. I remember when she was the Funkadactyl and they took her match away, and there was like a big storyline on Total Divas. I remember all that. I remember that. Yeah. So like, give her that main event Mania spot. Show the world that she could carry a match because she's probably gonna have to against Jade. And give them 5 minutes. Who cares? And Jade gets the win after a quick 5 minutes. But just the fact that they have a Mania level program going on right now between two women who aren't even in the main title picture, props to WWE, man.
Yeah, man.
Like, they are using their women. They're utilizing them correctly. For the first time in a long time, I could say most of the women's division is being utilized correctly.
Exactly. Yes.
On WWE.
Good up for them. They're doing their thing. It's great to see. I'm just so happy for Naomi to get something. Naomi's extremely talented. Just never was given the something, the meat and potatoes of a story to really chop into. And I think her and Bianca are legit just really good friends. Yeah. And that's how they were able to kind of feed off each other emotionally. And the acting in that, the pure emotion, A+. Yeah. A+.
Bianca even called her Trinity at one point. I was like,
Trinity.
We killing kayfabe. Let's go.
Yo. Excellent. I'm very excited to see how this three-way story develops. I hope they don't drop the ball. They can't drop the ball.
Nah, they can't. After so many months of like the build up, like who done it, and Jade just being gone for so long, they can't drop the ball.
They can't drop it.
They had so much time to hash out whatever the story is with Jade being gone. I hope they know where this ends by now.
Me too, y'all. Joe, anything else before we end the show, man?
Nah, man. All I gotta say is wrestling has been incredible lately. That is why my Haters Club segment has been taking a dive a little bit. So people start doing some terrible shit on TV, so I can start hating on you because the Hater Club was building momentum.
Yeah, it was, man. It was.
Now I'm gonna have to rebrand to like the Lovers Club or some shit. Like, they don't hit the same, man.
Doesn't hit the same, man. I
was trying to be a heel, and y'all made me a baby face. Y'all cheered me.
Quick turn, man. That was a quick.
Damn it.
Quick turn, yo. Listen, man, thank you for joining us on episode 85 of Unmarked Wrestling Podcast. This is Kayode and Joel. Stay tuned. Next week, we'll be back with more show. And we'll bring you some more news, all that good stuff. Lock in on our Instagram, our Facebook, our YouTube, TikTok. Just watch the content, watch the material, y'all. Keep supporting. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
You have just listened to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, a Scriptly adapted production. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at On-Da-Mark Wrestling. And email us on ondamarkpodcast@gmail.com.